Well, welcome to the Berlin Cable Access virtual meeting. It is March 24th at 6:12. We will begin our meeting per the order of, I don't think, is this order of the governor anymore?
Yeah, it's still in effect. We have the
are having
option.
a virtual meeting per order of the governor because it is still a COVID situation going on and we need to be safe, and it's very convenient to be recorded by our wonderful cable access channel, and so everyone can view on our YouTube channel. This, may I read the minutes? Oh no, I'm taking attendance, sorry. Our panel members are Roger Bradley, are you here?
I am here.
And our station manager, Brittany Blaney, are you here?
I am also here.
And I am Patricia Anderson. And we shall begin our meeting. I will read the minutes from February 24th, and we can accept them or not. So it begins that the procurement officer in our project has not gone any further, and the station manager is not confident we'll be able to finish the project before July. If we need to put in an article for the annual town meeting, that's what I said. We made a motion to put an article possibly in for 50,000 to finish the camera project if we have not finished work with the procurement officer. Brittany will put together the article and have June approve the article to be sent to the selectmen. She will let us know about sending the article to the selectmen. Cable all set, tested, used it for the President's Day program, was live streamed from Berlin Memorial, and 262 people watched the live stream. Our next live stream will be Memorial Day from Berlin Memorial. They will continue to do live stream. It is a benefit from the pandemic. Brittany only needs to set up an, I think it's extra 30 minutes. Is that what I was supposed to say? Set up 30 minutes more, it says. It only takes you 30 minutes.
The additional time for the live stream. Yeah, it only takes about 30 additional minutes, like with setup and breakdown.
All meetings are still virtual except for cemetery meetings. Skating party was canceled. New program at 19 Carter, June Miller host, called History Matters through the month of March. Railroads will be covered. As long as we get permission, we will record. Old Time Music Jams getting recorded also at 19 Carter. March 18th, St. Patrick's Day concert. Erickson Antique Stove Restore Stoves is coming to 19 Carter. In presentation, we will cover it March 20th. Berlin Public Library did an Iditarod presentation. Is that the end? Will Dog and Dog Sled. I think it's supposed to be with dog and dog sled. Not Will Dog. Wait a minute, there is more. I guess maybe there isn't more. Oh no, there's more. The library trustees were concerned whether they need to keep recording. We don't have an obligation to keep the recording. We are not an official agency of the town. Do we still have an ad for a production assistant? No, we do not have, because we only pay below minimum wage.
The ad is still there, just no applicants.
And I asked about the pay.
Wait,
the pay
meeting adjourned at 6:41. Sorry, go ahead.
The pay is at minimum wage.
Okay.
Since when?
Well,
Minimum allowed wage for the town, but not state minimum wage.
Yeah, it's $14.25, I think, is the minimum wage for the state, and that's what it's supposedly listed as.
I must have changed it. I'll have to look. Let me make a note.
All right. Do the minutes? Will the
I'll
minutes
make a motion. We accept the minutes as read or changed or.
All right. I second it. I second it. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right. Minutes have been accepted as read. They really not very good, but thank you. Right, let me start something new. Right. So. Really a bad typist, sorry. All right. All right. So, we have update on the articles.
Yeah, so I spoke with June and she said that we didn't need to put forward an article like we did before, since it's already been voted on. It just requires some sort of, it's this other article that basically just says like that we didn't spend all the funds in that fiscal year and it just gets transferred over to the next fiscal year. So we don't have to like redo the whole thing. It's this other procedure, less of a to do. And she said that that can be slipped in right beforehand. So she said, if by, when is town meeting? June?
May, isn't
Anyways, whatever month. She said basically if like a month before town meeting, it looked like it was not going to be completed, then we would put that in as sort of, a safety net for the project. And so we'll sort of cross that bridge when we get there. But June definitely made it seem like not a big deal and she wasn't concerned at all.
Okay, well, I think that's excellent that we have contacted her so that 'cause she's been the one that's been concerned.
Yeah, yep. No, when I
About it,
spoke to
so.
her, she wasn't worried at all. So if
Most you
she's
can
not
do.
panicking, I'm not going to panic.
Most you can do. Well, she was panicking though.
Well, when I spoke to her, she was not panicking. So
All right. Good.
that's the most recent news, unless you've spoken to her since, Roger.
No, I just saw the same information that you or she sent to you.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like it's just pretty standard operating procedure.
So how is the procurement officer doing then?
So I'm not like 100% certain of like the wording, whatever, but basically like it's moving forward. We have the list thing. I reviewed it. Actually, Margaret emailed me today and said she was going to be posting it or whatever. And then vendors on the state something list. It's like, basically, I think it's like pre-approved vendors. It's a list of like pre-approved vendors with the state. I guess if we use people on that list, it's expedited. The process is expedited. And one of the vendors that I had received a quote from previously is on that list, and I have worked with them in the past on other projects. So there's at least one vendor on that list that I'm familiar with and comfortable with. And they already gave us a quote and it was comparable to the other 2 quotes that we received. So I'm pretty confident, at least cost wise, it'll be totally fine. Again, as far as installation and the timing, I'm not super confident that it'll get done this fiscal year, but there's always a chance.
So what is the procedure?
So
she writes up the list and everything, and then it gets.
I gave her the list And then she like fills in this form. There's this different information that she puts in this form. And then that form gets posted to, as I understand it, to that form gets posted so that the vendors on that list can see it and then place bids, I
Okay.
believe. Again, like, this is sort of new to me, and there's a lot of like acronyms, like a form, I don't know, it was like a RQF form, and I don't know what RQF stands for. I've never used it before, but Margaret seems to understand the process, and since she's the procurement officer, I'm hoping she will kind of guide me.
Now, can you alert your vendor that it's there?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And that's my intention. Once she lets me know that it's live or whatever, then I was planning to reach out to the vendor and saying, hey, this is here. They would need an update anyways, because we purchased equipment since they quoted us and since I last talked to them.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Amongst yourselves. I'll just call it a state list, right?
Sure. I'm not entirely sure exactly what.
I think I've heard of something like this before. Like, I think I remember something when we were building the school, there's things, lists and places that you have to like advertise to, so that
Yeah,
the right kind of vendor can actually bid on your job.
right.
ones
It's
that-
something like that. It's like pre-approved people or something, and I guess it
Yeah.
expedites the process. I think, I don't know
Because
if
they
you.
pay the right amount, they use union people, they have all the
Right,
safety
right. They're like
requirements
pre-vet,
and-
they're pre-vetted or whatever. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, what was next? We done all that videotaping that we had on our list. We got Iditarod in June.
So the Iditarod, I had reached out to the librarian and asked if we could record, and she was like, yes, I'd love that. Sent somebody, and then the woman doing the actual presentation said no, she did not want to be recorded.
Oh, okay.
So we did not record. As I understand it, we got some great B-roll beforehand. We recorded at 19 Carter. So far, we've recorded 3 episodes of the History Matters, the 3 of the 4 railroad presentations. We also recorded a St. Patrick's Day concert last Friday. I'm sorry, I could sneeze. Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
And excuse me.
All right,
And
that's-
we also recorded on Sunday a presentation from Dave Erickson, who restores antique stoves from the late, or I guess, I don't know, mid 1800s to early 1900s. Yeah, he did that on Sunday, so we recorded that. So we've been at 19 Carter quite a bit.
all right.
But it's nice to have something to record other than meetings, so.
Presentation.
Do you know if Dave Erickson still has a store in Littleton, I think it was?
Yeah, it's an old like train station or whatever.
Yeah. like
Yeah.
a depot, yeah.
Yep, he's still there.
He built that?
No, he bought it and then like he renovated it. Cause yeah.
That's where he reconditions the stoves, I believe, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's where his workshop is. And then I believe he like lives upstairs or something. He did a presentation in Harvard last month. So actually I was very familiar with the presentation. I already had all his slides and everything. So, but the setting was different. So
There you go. You know all about these stoves.
I'm quite familiar with the stoves. He's actually friends with the man, the designer who designed the addition for our house.
Does your addition come with a reconditioned stove?
Oh no, those things are crazy expensive. There's a very nice one he has on display at 19 Carter. It was designed specifically for the Chicago World's Fair.
Wow.
It's really fancy, but that's like $20,000 if you want to buy it.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll do it.
There's less expensive ones. I think I saw one for like $6,000.
Oh,
There's
Piece of
more
cake.
affordable ones. Well, the World's Fair one you can like cook on, and then there's other ones that are just like strictly for heat.
ooh, I'd like to cook on it.
Yeah. Well, if
Probably
you want to
better than
cook,
what I
if you want to cook on it, it's going to cost you a little bit more.
Yeah,
But I mean, they
a lot
are.
more work too, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, initially when I was told about the exhibit in Harvard, I was like antique stoves, and I was like, nah, that sounds kind of boring. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll cover it. And when I saw the stoves, I couldn't believe it. I had no idea these kind of stoves even existed. They're literally works of art. They're gorgeous. If you have the chance to go and see them, you really should, because they're remarkable.
With all kinds of chrome and enamel and color and
Well, and the cast iron is like formed into like shapes and like I don't know. You can't imagine it. You have to go and see it. They're really just extremely intricate. They are works of art.
Cool.
Yeah,
And-
it is, because when you just say like antique stoves, you think like, you know, a crummy like rundown old wood stove or something like that, and just it's the
No, they're
complete
nice.
opposite.
They're nice. I remember a friend of mine has an old farmhouse up in New Hampshire, and they have one right in their kitchen. Very nice, beautiful stove. I'm sure it was the one they used to cook in. So
and we can tell our viewers they can view that on the YouTube channel, correct?
that's right.
They can. It is not edited yet, but it will be shortly.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
course.
Bradley,
Yeah, well,
for that.
how many
advertisement.
viewers are watching us now?
I know.
At this moment, it's just us.
Oh,
But-
I
We get Pepper and Bill in here.
see.
I can look and see who watched our last meeting, if anyone. I mean, we're not like, you know, we're not Conservation Commission or anything exciting like that.
Yeah, not recreation. I'm sure they're more exciting. All right, so you
We had
want-
six people watched our meeting from last month.
Ooh. Well, now I feel a little creepy though. Who are
Six
you out
people.
there?
Well, they're not watching right now. Let's see. Yeah, 6. And then the month before that was 6. The month before that was 12.
Ooh,
Whoa.
well,
Yeah.
we have a following.
It's roughly a dozen people, but yes, we have a following.
We'll be influencers yet. All right, so you're gonna tell us about putting, what was it, putting some things on the server?
Oh yeah, I just so we had discussed before that we were running out of room on the server, so I was moving meeting files that, you know, older meeting files that were no longer airing, that are already up on YouTube. I was moving those off of the server and onto an external hard drive as a backup. And I can pause and let you type that up if you want.
Now, is there a certain amount of time that you're planning on, like, even then wiping that hard drive, or just leaving it for a while? Or
The
you-
external, I wasn't planning on wiping it at all. I was gonna leave those files on the backup there. Just to have them. I mean, they are all on YouTube, but still just keeping a backup. Data storage is cheap now, so there's no real reason not to.
All right. Sounds good.
So we did that. And I continue to do that as meetings sort of, time out or whatever. When there's new ones and we're no longer playing the old one, then I move it over to the backup. And then we had a lot of programming that was created, or the files were saved as MPEGs. And MPEG files are extremely large. And there's a newer codec, MPEG 4, that we've been using for several years, which is much smaller, takes up a lot less space. So we've been converting the MPEG files over to MPEG 4 files. And in that process, we've made some corrections to them, because some files, like the dimensions were off, or the audio was only in one channel, or there was like VHS lines at the bottom of the screen. So we've just been like sort of digitally remastering those.
So what do you use to do that, to convert it?
Editing software. So
Oh,
pop it in editing software. I use Final Cut. My employee uses DaVinci Resolve, but it's just editing software. It's just unfortunately, our server is like extremely specific as to like what kind of file type it will take. It will only take certain file types, and it has to be this certain frame rate, and it has to be this certain codec and whatever. So we really have to send it through the editing software with the with the like saved export settings that we have specific for the server, to make sure it'll like it. But I believe we just finished the last of the conversions earlier this week. So that project is complete.
So when you turn it into the MPEG 4, you mean you're doing it with the server settings?
Yes.
So in case
I
you
mean,
have to
the
go back and
MPEG
put it back in. Right?
Yeah, well, we do put it back in. So we take the MPEG 4, we leave it on the server, but we take a copy of it, send it through the software, export it as an MPEG 4. Then we put the MPEG 4 on the server, make sure the server likes it and is happy with it. And once that's confirmed, then we delete the old MPEG file. And so that frees up a significant amount of space on the server. So that's a good thing. That gives us lots of space for additional programming.
Now, sorry, but
No,
the
no problem.
DaVinci Resolve, does
Yeah.
your employee have to have, does he or she pay for a?
Actually, DaVinci Resolve is free.
I tried to use it and I kept trying to get me to pay.
There's a premium, like an upgrade version that you can pay
That you
extra for like the premium options, but the basic version is free.
Okay. Let's check that out again. Because somebody was telling me about it.
Yeah, I've used it. It's handy. Oh my goodness. It's a drought, apparently. You're not supposed to do any brush fires. No burning your brush.
It's a drought.
Apparently, yes. That's why the fire happened at Devon.
Oh,
It was dry and windy.
not from all those firearms that they're shooting off.
Yeah, no, that's what caused the fire. It was like the firearms or whatever. Munitions. They didn't specify exactly what they fired off, but it involved gunpowder.
All right.
So
And-
hopefully a lesson learned there.
Yeah. Or somebody's not working or stationed there anymore.
Either way, lesson learned. At least one person learned a lesson.
Any other new news?
I'm going to be meeting with the select board on Monday. They wanted to discuss options for hybrid meetings. I believe they are planning to return to in-person, but they want to keep the remote component so that it's an option, I think, for attendees or potentially board members. So I'm gonna discuss with them on Monday what their options are.
And what are you going to tell them?
Well, I want to see what they would like as far as their objectives are, because I can make different recommendations. If they're looking for audience interaction, I'd continue with Zoom. If they were looking just to live stream, then I would do YouTube. I just kind of want to see what they're looking for, but we have that, what's the name of it? I can't think of it offhand, but it's a little dongle that plugs into a laptop. And then you plug the HDMI out of the camera into that dongle, and it tells the laptop that that's a webcam. So basically, you know how, like when Roger normally records the select board meeting and you see the whole table and whatever, that's what people would see on their Zoom screen. And they would also get that audio from the microphone that's on the table and everything. So I've done that. I've been using those sort of dongles and stuff like that for like well over a year. So I'm very familiar with them, and it's a pretty simple setup. It doesn't require a lot. Chances are that's gonna fulfill whatever need that they are looking for, but I'll know for certain when I talk to them on Monday. But I am aware of the different options and can make recommendations based on what they'd like to pursue.
Can I ask that they make sure that they know that right now that you are working under our budget and that it's still not a huge budget, and in the future, if cable access, like everybody's complaining about cable access, and if cable access goes away, that they might have to take on whatever that they are requesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that if they were looking to have some sort of equipment to facilitate their hybrid meeting or whatever, that would be expense that they would want to incur. Unless it benefited us from a programming standpoint, I don't think that it makes sense for us to pay for any equipment.
But
For their-
even your hours have gone up significantly. So
Yes,
I
yeah.
would like them to understand that. More specifically, I want them to understand your hours have gone up significantly.
Yeah, I
from
do want
before
to.
the pandemic.
Yeah, definitely, because now, so we have all the meetings and we're continuing to process all of the meetings, but
Right.
now in person
Right.
things are starting. So the hours are quickly escalating.
Right.
I mean, that might
And
be a
that's-
discussion.
We
That
have
might be a
already put our budget in, so we already
Right.
said how many hours that we are using. That's already been approved from them. So I'm hoping that you will impress upon them that this is not an unlimited amount of time that they
Right.
can
Yeah, I do.
take.
I would
unless
like
they-
to talk to them about it, and maybe it may be a discussion for the entire board with them at a future time, but I mean, it's not really sustainable the way it is right now, long term.
I mean,
The
it's,
the town may have to supplement cable access's budget if they want to continue with the full meeting coverage. I know, so I
yes.
manage the station in Harvard, and the town of Harvard did recognize that there was additional cost for all of this meeting coverage, and supplemented Harvard Cable TV's budget, and the additional expenses they were incurring for the meeting processing. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for the town.
No, I don't think it
Um,
is, but I just don't think that they understand.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they're aware, and I just want to make sure that they're aware of the additional cost and coverage that we are doing. We are taking care of it for them. So like you said, going forward, they need to know before they even request these things that it costs money
right, yeah. No,
more than just
absolutely.
for equipment.
Yeah, and I think obviously if they're not processing invoices, or they're not seeing the work that's going in, they just like,
Right.
the meetings are posted to YouTube and they don't really think
Right.
about it.
Yes, most
Um,
people don't. Most people don't ever
right.
understand any of
And
that.
like, I think, the meeting coverage is important, but I also think that the local event coverage is, important as well. And you know, I don't know, there has to be a balance or something. I don't think we just like put blinders on and just do meetings for the rest of our lives,
Yeah, I mean, personally, I prefer more of the community coverage because it's a
Well, yeah,
community thing. It's
yeah,
a community station. It's not just supposed to be a government station. That would be different.
yeah, I 100% agree.
All right, so you will be able to kind of give that a little commercial.
Yeah, I will mention when I meet with them. And like I said, it may be sort of something for us to talk to them again, like formally about
Mhm.
later. But I will absolutely introduce the idea. I think yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning.
Speaking of which, did you see the annual funds came in from Charter
Oh yeah, I
Communications?
saw the email from Mary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the selectmen take note of that because that's what, $30,000.
Yeah.
That's way above our budget. I mean, way below our budget,
Yeah, it won't cover the expenses for the year. No.
right? And that's
Now,
just,
is that the only thing that comes in, or is there another one that comes in at a different time?
There's a smaller one that is like, you get 50 cents, I think, for every cable subscriber or something like that, but that's, it's a nominal amount.
right, there's less and less people.
And then I don't know how your contract is set up, but typically you get like a lump sum year one of your 10-year contract, and then a lump sum year
Right.
5, I think usually. I think we already got both of those. I'm not certain though.
Yeah, we must have, because we're in like year 7, aren't we, of the 10-year contract?
I don't
Something like
remember. I could ask him, but you don't want me to do that.
that. No, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the other committee's expertise. Did I say this right? That the dongle can connect to the laptop and turn the laptop into a virtual camera?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Okay.
So other than that, let me look at the calendar real quick, see if there was anything else coming up. We have the final history matters next week. And then it's relatively quiet, knock on wood. We'll see.
Until the spring, right?
I was just looking until our next meeting in April, but we have, yeah, annual town meeting is May 2nd. I have a feeling I'll be, the next month hopefully will be spent facilitating the meeting room upgrades. Fingers crossed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, just looking at like the meetings that we post on YouTube, there's none of the meetings are without viewership. Like everyone's, like all of these meetings are being watched. So I don't know where you necessarily cut the fat. So
Right.
I guess we'll see if the select board wishes to keep that. If they can help us, you know, mitigate that cost.
Well, I think at some point they really need to think about it because they probably will have to no matter what. I think, I mean, so many.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you
I'm
hear so much-
facing that in all of the towns because
Right,
every town I managed, you know, we went from covering a handful of committees to covering all the committees,
right.
and that has stayed, but now in-person stuff has come back, and it's like that's a whole lot more time.
Double the amount of time. Plus, viewership, like cable subscribers, is going down. So it's not gonna. Plus,
There,
I
I
mean,
mean,
for a time, I don't know if you've heard rumors, but I've heard rumors that cable will be gone at some point too. And think,
yeah, I think eventually at some point cable will be a thing of the past to a point. But there is legislation in development right now that within the state that would take a percentage of funds from internet access sales so that it, you know, because that's how the transition is. That's how people are consuming their media now. You know, the original federal legislation was written at a time when the internet didn't exist. So watching TV was through cable television, and that was the only option. And, you know, now obviously it's through internet, but government always moves at a snail's pace. And this is just Massachusetts. I think some other states are working towards it as well, but hopefully that legislation passes. And if it did, then it would, you know, it would solidify the future of local access. And, you know, Massachusetts local access, or within Massachusetts, local access is pretty important, and a lot of the towns and in the, you know, the population values it. So hopefully they'll, you know, put in the work to preserve it.
isn't Senator Markey is a big proponent of cable?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's many senators and representatives that signed on to the bill. It has a lot of support.
Well, I mean, it is kind of a service for people that do not have a lot of money nor access to information. So it kind of helps for everybody to get good information, and not just people who can get places or people who can afford to pay for other means of getting information. So
Right. No,
kind
I
of a-
think, you know, this is one of those silver linings of the pandemic where there's just like full and complete coverage of government activities, and it's accessible to everyone. Just costs money,
right.
like everything else.
Yep, more and more. All right. Is there any other questions, concerns, or comments?
I don't think I have anything else. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. I'm just thinking like there may be a chance that we might need to meet at some point in April if something comes up with the installation or whatever, but I'll keep you posted. I don't anticipate it, but it's always a possibility.
Right, I hope it begins.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But it's just the timing of it. Like it's going to get posted, and I think it has to be out for like 2 weeks, and then we have to approve the vendor, and then we got to get scheduled for the vendor. And like honestly, we don't have a lot of time.
No.
So I'm just, I'm not super confident that it's going to happen this fiscal year. But June said we can just transfer the funds, so we should be
Probably
fine.
all be at the same time, right?
What's that?
It'll probably be happening all at the same time, town
Oh, yeah.
meeting and the installation and.
Oh yeah, I mean, May is like literally the worst month for me. So why not throw in an installation?
There you go. That's what will
Well,
happen.
well, Berlin and Boylston have town meeting on the same night. Yay. It's
We like
that,
to do that.
it's high school graduations, the elementary school, like recognition ceremonies, Memorial Day. It's like everything all in May. It's
Well, like
brutal.
the recognitions, aren't those later in June though? I don't know
They're
when.
usually like end of May, but I mean, it's all like clustered together. There's not much break.
Yeah, well, because our graduation time it's not until like the middle to end of, probably around the 18th of June. That's what things.
Yeah, I think the graduation's usually, I think like high school graduation is usually like early June, like right after Memorial Day. And then like the elementary school stuff or whatever is a little bit later. But there's also like end of the year concerts and
Proms.
Memorial Day concerts, and just, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm gearing up. I understand. I'm like, because of it's virtual and everything, I've turned into I create all the entertainment now at school. Like I'm the show producer, and it's like,
Oh boy.
that's not, I'm not.
Is that in your job description? Do you remember signing up for that?
No, but now I have to videotape little kids that are doing what they think is scatting, but it's really just making weird noises. But it's fun. Yeah, really fun. Because then editing, you listen to it over and over and over, and you're like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, and like editing, whatever, like a 1 hour program, editing that, it takes like 4 hours,
Yep.
It's not like one. It takes like a lot longer to edit something.
And everybody always has a critique.
Oh yeah. No, I love the, like, as you're packing up the equipment, like, when will this be on the air?
Can I get a copy?
And I was like,
Can I get a
tonight.
copy? Yeah.
Yeah, tonight. I'll just bang this out real quick. I've got nothing else to do. I say that, but like I did the live stream concert same day. I like immediately went home. and
Yeah,
did
you
it.
could
But
just like
for the
pop
most
that
part,
in. You don't have to do anything to
there
it.
wasn't
right?
much,
It's
no,
like-
there wasn't a whole lot of work. I just cut out the lulls and stuff, but customarily, like, it takes a little bit longer than a few hours. But yeah, that's it. I'm just like anxious to get the meeting room upgrades done finally. Yeah, that's my big thing.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, I really want that.
That'll help a lot.
Well, that'll save us a lot of man hours if we can
Yes.
record directly to the server versus having to edit it after the fact. And also it'll be up that much faster. So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
See, and remember, you just remind them who they were telling no to for quite some time, who they were giving a hard time to. You remind them.
Well, and I mean, they didn't want equipment in the select
Yep.
board meeting room, so we're still going to have to do it the old school way.
Oh, they
So-
still don't want it in there.
No, so unless they go to one of the other meeting rooms, they'll still have a pretty significant delay on the turnover of that getting edited and everything, because it's done to a field camera rather than directly to the server. So when they complain that conservation gets up faster on YouTube than they do,
Oh well.
If you let us put cameras in there.
Good work. All right.
Okay, so I will check on the pay rate that's posted on the town website, and then I'm gonna mention to or discuss with the select board about the additional cost we're incurring now when I meet with them on Monday. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for April 28th at 6. Does that still work for both of you?
I think so far.
Yep.
Okay. I will leave it in my calendar then.
Hopefully the meeting link is in there too, right?
It should be. It should be the same one. I set it up so it's like reoccurring.
Okay, good.
Yeah. 3 of 6. So it's the same ID, just post the exact same ID for next one. And it's golden. It only took us a couple months to figure it out.
Yay. All right, good. All right, so do I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting? Are we ready to adjourn?
We'll second that motion.
All right. The meeting of the Berlin, oh, all in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right, the meeting will be adjourned at 6:59.